And I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session today. It is July 29th, and we have a brand new guest for today. So welcome, DC Vision Zero, where Renee will be talking about alternative transportation options for older adults and people with disabilities. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Equity Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information, any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners, or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see us or hear us, please let us know in the chat. Let's make sure to keep our TVs and cell phones in mind, as always. And just as a reminder, make sure you take notes and or screenshots or copy the links in the chat so you can review the information as much as you'd like. But again, this will be on our YouTube channel, so hello, YouTube. And you can review and rewind as much as you'd like. So, Renee, thank you so much for coming on. If you could introduce yourself, your topic, your organization, what you'll be covering with us today. I'll look forward to being your tech support, and let's all make sure to stay on for our polls so that way you can let us know how Renee did with us today. So thank you so much, Renee. The floor is now yours.
Thank you so much, Alexander. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to put it in presenter mode. Oh,
Wonderful.
all right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Renee Moore. My topic today is on transportation options for older adults and people with disabilities. I work in what's called the Vision Zero office, and it's in the office of the executive office of the mayor. It's an initiative that Mayor Bowser started in 2015, and the goal of it is to eliminate serious injuries and traffic fatalities in DC. And so we've been working on that. I've been in various iterations of this in a couple of different positions and different jobs here throughout my career. And so right now we're working on that through road design. There's the automated speed cameras. There's putting in different traffic and I'm trying to say different traffic, implementing different traffic. I'm trying not to use a technical word. That's why I'm struggling with this. We're redesigning roads. That's the easiest way to say. We're trying to redesign roads to make it safer for everyone. That may be putting in crosswalks for people. It could be putting in the buttons where you push it to help you get across the street because they'll light up and let drivers know that you're coming. So we're doing things like that to make it safer for everyone. I'm a native Washingtonian. I've been here most of my life. I lived in Texas for about 7 years, and I came back because my mom, well, I had a teenage daughter at the time, but my mom had a stroke in 2014. And one of the reasons I do this work is because after my mom had her stroke, she told me that it's very difficult for her to walk in DC because the lights are fast to her. She's like, I can't move as fast because she walks with a little bit of a limp. And so I have a lot of passion for working in this, especially for people who do have disabilities and people that are older who want to stay in DC. They want to age in place, but they're just having trouble getting around. And a few years ago, my mom decided to give up her license. And so this work means even more to me because of that. I typically bike to work when the temperature is above 32 degrees. So I'm one of those bicyclists. It's primarily because I'll just be honest, I had a lot of red light tickets at one point. I had a budget for them, and I was like, this has to stop. And so I started biking around DC simply because I just got tired of giving money to DC government for tickets. I started working in Vision Zero in 2016. I was working in the bike advocacy world. And that's when I got started. And I've worked in Alexandria, I've worked in the city of Alexandria, I've worked in Arlington County, and then in DC, all on Vision Zero at some point. I'm also an AARP Smart Driver Instructor volunteer. So if you are somebody who still drives and wants to continue driving, I teach these classes. They're all over the area, but in DC, they're probably like once every quarter right now. And what we do is we kind of update everyone on what the laws are, how roads have changed over the years. As DC specific. It's a 6-hour class. And at the end of it, you get a certification and you also give that to your insurance company and you'll get a discount on your insurance. So that's why a lot of people take it. Before I was in the world of transportation, I used to work as a nuclear chemist. My background is in chemistry, and people always say, "How did you make the transition and get here?" And I always say, chemistry is about solving problems. That's all it is. So it was actually not as hard of a transition as people think. And then if you want to learn more about Vision Zero, you can go to visionzero.dc.gov. So that's just a little bit about me. I told you earlier I got married about 16, 18 days ago. I forget how many days it's been. But I just got married under 3 weeks ago. And I have a daughter that's 33. I have a little granddaughter that's 3, and she has one on the way. So I'm going to be a grandmother again in a few weeks or a few months, sorry, in January.
Oh, again, Renee,
Yep.
thank you so much for
Mhm.
your introduction.
Yep.
I was going for chemistry as well. I love that
Oh,
solving problems aspect of everything. So thank you. And I
yeah.
didn't know about that AARP. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just by a show of hands, maybe this will help you out, Renee.
Yeah.
Who still drives or here in our calls? Can you raise your hand in Zoom if you still drive? If you still drive, raise your hand. And just to get a scope. Oh my goodness. 6 hands, 7. Oh wow, I love it. Again, more and I hope that tidbit about the AARP and getting that discount on your insurance, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So you just take the certificate to you let the insurance company know and they do a discount. I believe it's 10% in DC. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've been hearing from people who have been in the class, and it's a 10% discount.
Oh wow, 10 people. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
I love that. And in the chats, well, I'm not sure if it's about the driving, but Miss Lisa asked any AARP classes on Zoom. I'm not sure how general or specific that one is, but I'm sure there are. Can you?
Yes, so they do have a driving class. They do have a smart driving class that's on Zoom, or it's online. I should say it's online, and so it's self-paced. I believe you have 30 days to complete it. So once you start and you pay for it, you can go at your own pace. So I did that one. I've also done it live. I will tell you, not because I'm teaching. I think the live is better. It's definitely more engaging. The online one is very useful if you can't get out or you just want to do it at your own pace, but it's very repetitive is what I found. So I did like it in person better when I took it. I did both.
But
Great
wow,
question. Great
10
question.
hands, about 25% of you all. That's amazing. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome.
thank you for participating, you all. You all can lower your hands.
So I want to talk a little bit about moving around DC and using Vision Zero for that. And so I won't go into a lot of detail about this, but this is what we're using to deal with the serious injuries and traffic fatalities. And so what we call it is the safe system approach. I don't expect anyone to memorize this, but it has these elements in it. And so there's safe people. Safe people is about making sure that when people are in a vehicle or they're walking or they're biking or they're in a wheelchair or they're on a scooter or however their motorcycle, however they're getting around, that they are safe doing it, which means they're wearing their seatbelts. They are, if they're on a bike or a scooter, they're wearing their helmets, that they're visible, we can see them, and they're safe when they're out there. The next section is safe vehicles. So for safe vehicles, we're looking at things like making sure people are going, that people are for like bigger trucks, that they have the guards under them. Like one of the things that we saw earlier in fleet vehicles is that there would be the space under there, and if somebody turned at the same time or tried to take over the truck, that they could actually like slide under it and now they would get stuck. And so they've been talking about putting guards on cars to make them safe. When you also think about safe vehicles, especially if you have a newer vehicle, we're talking about things like the lights on the side of the mirrors that let you know that somebody is approaching you, that somebody's on your side, they're in your blind spot. Or it could be the backup cameras or the front cameras if you have that. So when you're backing up, you know that someone's behind you. So that's what safe vehicles is about. Safe speeds. We know that from our studies, we know that speed kills is basically as the speed gets higher, people have a lower chance of surviving it. So at 20 miles an hour, if somebody gets hit, they have a much better chance of surviving it than if they're hit at say 40 miles an hour. It goes up exponentially. It's to a fatality the faster people are going. So we're trying to lower speeds. If you noticed in DC, the baseline speed limit is 20 miles per hour unless it's otherwise noted. Safe streets. Excuse me. Safe streets is all about how we're redesigning roads to make them safe for all road users. So I mentioned earlier about they call them hawk signals, and it stands for high alert walking signal. It's something that doesn't make any sense when you when you break the letters down, but when you sometimes when you get to a stop an intersection, you will see a button that you can push and the lights will flash, and that lets the cars know that someone is trying to attempt to walk across the street or bike or in a wheelchair or something like that. They're trying to cross the street. So safe streets is all about making sure that the streets are safe. We talk about, and I'll just put it out there because it's a thing. People talk a lot about the bike lanes that are out there, and bike lanes actually slow down traffic. People, because the roads are less, there's not as much space, so people have to go slower because of the bike lanes that are there. And then post crash care is the last one. Post crash care is all about how fast we can get an EMT, a fire truck, an ambulance to you to make sure that you do survive if you are in a crash. So these are the systems that we're working in Vision Zero now. Um, Right. So I talked about that. Safe roads is designing infrastructure. The safe speeds is managing speeds to reduce crash severity. And I mentioned the numbers. So here you have at 20 miles per hour, you have 8% of people there could be a likelihood of death. But you see, when you double the number doesn't double. It actually goes up exponentially to 46%. So as the speed doubles, more people, there's a likelihood of death, a much higher likelihood of death as you double the speeds. Safe vehicles is encouraging the use of vehicles with advanced safety features. And for those of you that do still drive, do you have a vehicle that has the safety technology, and is there a feature that you like most? And I'll take, people just kind of raising hands or shouting out.
I like this question, Renee.
Thanks.
Yes, it's a great question. Anyone would like to share what feature, if you have a vehicle with safety technology, what feature do you like the most? I know the Teslas with the computer screens, very high tech, those. I
I
love those.
see
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say I see Evan or Yvonne. I'm not sure if I'm
Yeah,
saying it
thank
right.
you. Yeah, just taking a look at the hands. I see some
Yeah.
here in the chat too. So yeah, the chat is bumping, Renee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna highlight those in a minute. But yes, we have Yvonne and then Miss Lisa. What feature do you like most for your safety tech?
Oh, thank you very much, Alex. It's coincidental, but I'm scheduled to take the SAFE AARP course tomorrow. So I won't be in class tomorrow and Thursday. I'm taking the AARP SAFE class. And in my car, my recently bought Nissan Kicks is what I have. And I love the backing up because it has a feature that older cars don't have, lets you know when you're getting close to some obstruction in the back with the display on your dashboard, which is not in older cars. My older car didn't have that. And even when I'm driving, when there's something coming up on either side of me, there's a red light that blinks. And there are so many high tech features that I don't care to elaborate because I'm still reading my manual and finding out about all of them. But there's just so much. It tells me how many more miles I can drive without refueling, um, and not just how much fuel I have in my tank, but just how much farther I can drive. And it won't allow you to do certain things when you're driving, which is a safety measure. Uh, so I think that's important. You can't operate certain things when the car is in motion. So there's so many safety features that, as an older adult, I certainly appreciate so much. So thank you so much. And it's so coincidental that you're on today, Renee. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Miss Yvonne. Yeah, I love all of those. We rented a car a couple of years ago. It was a Volvo, and I have an older. My mom stopped driving, and she gave me her Honda Fit, and I didn't have a car. I was happy. I was like, I don't need a car. This is great. And then she gave me that car, and it's older. It's an '09, so it's no safety features. And then we we rented this Volvo, and it had all the things you talked about. Like it had you couldn't switch lanes like without the turn signal being on. So you couldn't just, if you started to veer into a lane, it would pull you back. I was like, wow. The lights that showed you when someone was coming up on you in your blind spot. I was like, I love this. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing it. Thank you. Anyone else have a vehicle with safety technology and a feature that you like, you want to share?
Yes, Miss Lisa, did you want to share something? I see you had your hand up.
I think the last participant said everything. I like the blinking blind spot light as well. I like the other feature that say if you're going too fast, you would crash into the next car in
Oh,
front of you. In front of you, if you're going too fa fast for the traffic, it'll let you know that you're going too fast for the traffic in the car that's in front of you. Like a big red car will show up on the screen that you're going too fast. It also won't allow you to drift into another lane. The steering wheel will take over if you're drifting. That never happens to me, but it's a feature that's there.
I love that. Yeah. One of the other ones I've seen in cars, I don't know if you all have this, it's a little symbol. It looks like a coffee cup. And it's to tell you, like, if you've been driving for a while, that you need to pull over and take a break and like get some coffee, like so that you're not driving too long and getting sleepy. It's one of those signals of like, okay, it's time for you to just take a break and not drive. And usually because there may be a camera in it that could tell that you're kind of like drifting or something like that. I think that's a great safety feature as
Oh
well.
yeah. I mean, for folks that take medications or have
Yeah.
a like stroke or something, that would be
Yeah.
great, for to I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Someone in the chat shared rear cameras very helpful,
Mhm.
blinking, blind spot light, rear camera and sensor, airbags. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through the chat. Thank you all so much for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Someone asked for the telephone number to get access to the class. Are you
Oh,
able to Renee?
I can share that. Yes.
Yes, now
Actually, yeah,
not this
okay. I can
instant.
just
So
okay.
someone said, "Oh, some Ms. Burnett said I took one of her classes." So
Oh,
isn't that a full circle
oh,
moment?
cool. Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, and then while you pull that number up, someone asked, "Is it true that you can no longer turn right on red even when there is not a sign that says no right turn on red? When there is no sign, folks get irritated when you don't turn."
It is
That's
true. It became the law on January 1st that you're not supposed to turn right on red, even when there's not a sign there. We're working through putting signs up, and there will probably be cameras there to catch people if they do make a right turn at some point. But yes, that is true. It is now the law. to not turn right on red.
Oh yes. See being outside and just seeing how a lot of people do, but some people still do turn right on their red light.
Yep.
And it could be to not caring or not knowing,
Or not
right?
knowing, yeah. Because there are definitely places where it says no turn on red, and then there's
Uh-huh.
places you get to that don't say that. So yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for grabbing that number. We got a couple more hands. I think for this question here about the safety technology. Yes, any questions for this question? We got or answer, sorry. We got Anne and then Yvonne again. So what's vehicle with safety technology? What do you like?
I like all the ones that were mentioned, but I would like that you just addressed the red light thing. And I've been working with the police department because we have one in River Terrace, and you don't have a sign, and people don't know what to do. And so they're turning and causing confusion, and people giving people the finger and all that kind of crazy stuff. But my grandchildren have decided that they have new cars, and grandma needs to know all of the things that go along with it in case she has to get in their car in an emergency.
Okay.
So and I thank you for your classes. I'm an ARP member, so I do get a lot of that stuff and
Great.
know about of it. But of course, ARP is my heart because my mother and my grandmother belong to it. So thank you so
Oh,
much, Lisa. I appreciate you coming on today and giving us this information.
you're so welcome, Miss Ann. You're very welcome.
Thank you, Anne. I love all the comments you guys are sharing and answers. Wonderful. We got Yvonne again, and then we have Miss Doris, and I think we'll move on.
Oh, yes, very quickly, Renee, I was reading the newspaper and how this administration, the Trump administration, is looking at things they want to undo here in our fair city. And one of the things mentioned is they want to reverse this no turn on red. So I'm afraid we might put it in place and then it might be reversed. So before they put all these signs up saying that you can turn on red or no turn on red, I don't know which way it's going to go. But
Yeah.
I know the administration is looking at undoing what we have in place with and allowing a turn on red for whatever reason, I don't know. But down the road, they might make it necessary for us to go ahead with a turn on red. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, there's always something on the table now in this administration. So we're always just like, okay, I guess we're doing that now. I don't know how it's gonna go yet. So it's crazy. We're pretty much in the same position as everybody else, like just kind of waiting to see what's gonna happen. We know, I guess, in traffic, working in transportation, that when people are turning right on red, especially if there's a light for the pedestrian, that it causes a conflict. Anytime there's that intersection of cars, pedestrians, bicycles, scooters, whatever, that there can be a conflict there. And so one of the reasons it's being eliminated is because we want people to just be able to walk across the street and not have to worry about a car turning at the same time,
Right.
especially if they don't, if it's not their turn to go. So
Yeah.
hopefully that will be conveyed, that it's really a safety issue. It's not an issue of like somebody can't get there faster. It's an issue of like we have people who have mobility issues that really need to get across the street, and it takes them time, and
Yes.
we can wait a few
Yes.
seconds till the light
You're
turns
right,
green.
Renee. Yeah, but they seem to be oblivious to whether
Yes.
it's a safety issue or not. We're just going
Yeah.
to undo it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
regardless of the reason, it's in place, which is,
Yeah.
I think, unconscionable.
It is. It is. So hopefully that it won't come to that, but honestly, we don't know. We'll roll with it. That's all I can say.
Yes, and I'm taking the course tomorrow, so
Oh, good.
I'm giving notice that I won't be in class to start. The course starts at 1 o'clock
Okay.
and tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah,
Well,
Safe
enjoy.
yep,
drivers course.
Yvonne. Yeah. Good luck with that, Yvonne. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
I'll be a safer driver and I'll know the rules more.
Yes, yes. It's a good course.
Thank you. Thanks,
You're
Alex.
welcome.
Thank you, Yvonne. And we got Ms. Doris. Thank you so much for your patience. What features, safety features do you like in your vehicle?
Well, no, I wanted to. I can't. Did you unmute me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Ms.
We can hear
Doris.
you.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to mention, and I've talked to the police department about it, during rush hour, especially in the morning, it's a do not enter sign up there on a one-way street, and the people don't want to wait for the traffic, and they're going the wrong way, and I'm so afraid that somebody gonna have a head-on collision.
What street is that?
It's T Street, the 1300 block of T Street. The sign is up there big as day. It's southeast. And they go through there. When Conti was the commander up there, he used to have a car sit down there, but since he
Oh,
left,
yeah.
nobody's sitting down there. And it's
Yep.
real dangerous because the street is one way. They turn in that corner while the other person going the opposite way. They'll have a bad accident.
I live over that way. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Have you put in a 311 for that? That's
Yeah.
where I would start. You have, okay. I was gonna say, that's where I
Okay.
would start. Yeah.
And we've had the 311 folks come on a couple of
Okay.
times. So yes, Ms. Doris, I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. That's where I always start. I've had good success with it. Not because I work for DC government, because I usually do it on the app, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, if you do it on the app, it tends to work better than if you call 311, which sounds crazy, but they tend to respond faster on the app for some reason.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you can add pictures and just add a lot
Yes.
of information. So
Yeah.
yeah, they should be on it's on the iPad too, on the
Oh,
device.
great. Wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful.
because yesterday they had this big old truck, one of them long trucks going to speak one way, and I said he can get points off his CDL license. Not only that, but somebody would get really hurt if they was coming straight while he was going down there.
Yep. Yep. I
But
know
thank you,
exactly what
sir.
that is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank
Thank you
you
for
all for participating, and I appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they asked some great questions.
they do, they do, they're great. I love it. So going forward, I talked about post-crash care. This is enhancing response and recovery to reduce the impact of crashes. And that's the last part of, I'm sorry, and safe road users, educating, encouraging responsible behavior among road users. And so this is one of the things, this is kind of my part of the safe system approach, is educating and encouraging people on how to be safe road users and what's available in case you don't want to drive anymore. This is kind of my sweet spot that I like to work in. I mentioned because it really came about because of my mom having her stroke, but also I'm a AARP member too. I love working with older adults and just letting them know like there's all this stuff out here that we don't know about. So I really like to let people know about that. This is just talking about reaching your destination should always be straightforward and secure and hassle-free. It shouldn't be based on your age or your abilities. And so what I want to do is just talk a little bit about some of the transportation options that can assist older adults and individuals with disabilities while you're commuting and going about DC. And it doesn't matter if you're running an errand or going to visit family or friends, or you're attending an appointment, or you're going to an event, whatever it is, you should be able to get there effortlessly. So I want to talk about some of those things. I think probably most people know about this one, but I do like to bring it up because I find that some people don't. And that's WMATA. So I start with WMATA because it's the biggest one. Most people know about it. They have reduced fare for customers that are 65 and up. So it used to be 62. I think it was lower than that at some point. So the age keeps going up. You just need a valid government issued ID. You can get them, you can use it on Metro Rail, Metro Bus, and any regional bus that accepts Smart Trip. One of the things we're working on right now with another partner in DDOT where I'm working is when we have larger events, having WMATA come out and sign people up there at the event. So we don't want to have to make you go to all these different places to get things. We're trying to make it accessible. So that's one of the things we're working on, is to make sure that if you are 65 and you qualify, that you can get that. If not, and you're like, I can't wait for an event, Renee, like, I don't know when you all are going to do this. You can go to wabata.com. This long list here, and I can send the slides to Alexander when this is over. You can go to that link or call WMATA and then get your reduced fare, your 65 your senior Smart Trip card, and it reduces the fare by half, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, I just put that link in the chat, so
Oh, great.
they'll
Thank you.
be able to see this in the YouTube video, but I'm
Thanks.
here to also put some links for you all too, so you can take a look at the application through that link in the chat.
So thank you. If and I promote this mostly for like if you're walking and you're still comfortable, like, hey, you know what, I don't feel like walking this far. I want to hop on a bike, and you've seen the red or the gray or sometimes the black bikes around. And you think, you know what, I could hop on a bike and go there. This would be, much faster. If you are, so Capital Bike Share has memberships. They are right now $95 a year. It's going up at some point. I want to say October. It's going up a little bit, but $95 a year is, you can use it as much as you want. But if you are a member of what's called a community partner, and that could be a nonprofit that's in the area that's nearby, you'd have to ask if they have it. There's a list of it also on the Capital Bike Share website, and you can see like what the community partners are. You can get the membership for just $5 annually, and it comes with a helmet. There's like a little backpack and goodie bag, and then it's the membership, and you pay a little bit less per ride also as a community partner. You're also eligible for, if you receive any of the following federal benefits like SNAP, WIC, TANF, SSI. If you're a disabled veteran, you can also get the membership for $5 a year. So this is a nice, we call it last mile in transportation. So it's like if you get off the subway and you still have a few blocks to walk and you don't feel like walking it, Capital Bike Share is one of those options that we suggest for people, like, oh, you could just grab a bike and then drop it off at the next location. So if that's something you're interested in, that's available. There's Lyft. So Lyft Lyft, the rideshare program, offers a program called Lyft Up. It provides rides for low-income families and seniors to get rides to farmers markets, grocery stores, food pantries, and SNAP benefits appointments. And so the link is there, as well as lyft.com/lyftup/access, and that's available. And it's really nice. And so I don't. The other program the other thing it does as well for people is if you have to get to a job interview or you need transportation to a job, this is also a program that Lyft offers. These are things that aren't widely publicized. And so I definitely wanted to let people know about it because they're offered, but it's kind of like buried, in their literature. Uber Assist, so the rideshare company Uber, they have a program called Uber Assist. It's for seniors and people with disabilities. The drivers are trained by third-party assist riders and they help to assist riders into vehicles. They accommodate walkers and wheelchairs and scooters. And so if you've ever taken an Uber or a Lyft, but particularly an Uber, and this was something that came up in the early stages when Uber first came out. And so I think I can say this, I'll just say it. So Uber and Lyft are not transportation companies. They are technology companies. And one of the ways they get around not having to offer things like assistance for people with disabilities is by being a tech company. Because if they were transportation, they would have to do it. So one of the ways that Uber is giving back to this is they're saying we have Uber Assist, and these people are trained to do this. Because typically Uber drivers just, you just have to be able-bodied and you just get in the car and you go, and they don't have any type of assistance for things like that, like taxi cab drivers used to have. So this is one of the things that Uber is doing to assist people who do have some type of mobility issues. This next one is called Transport DC. They'll take you from any location in DC. You have to be registered with Metro Access, which I have not mentioned yet. But Metro Access is one of the options that is available to people, seniors and people with disabilities. You do need a doctor's note permission in order to get Metro Access, and you have to mail it into Metro or take it down to Metro to get that access. But Transport DC will do that as well. Each ride is $7, is 24/7 access. You can use this service up to 10 times a month round trip. 10 times one-way trips or 5 round trips. So, and you can schedule them on the same day, and some are on demand. This is great because Metro Access typically has to be scheduled in advance, like 24 hours in advance. You can't just wake up and say, I want to go to my doctor's appointment today. You have to make it in advance. But Transport DC will will allow you to do same-day scheduling. If you need it for dialysis, though, those trips don't count towards your 10 trip monthly limit. So that's if that's something you need, that's a feature that they have. It doesn't count towards that. There's another service I found, it's called GoGo Grandparents. What's nice about this is that if you are, and I know this is none of you because you're in Wild Tech, but somebody like my mother who really doesn't like technology, this is great because you can use this service with or without a smartphone. They provide groceries, meals, ride services for seniors and people with disabilities. They screen and monitor services with Uber and Lyft and Instacart to make sure that you're going to be you're working with safe people who are going to get you to and from where you need to go or get you the things that you need safely. And it's gogograndparent.com. There's another one called Medical Transportation Management. They work with Medicaid recipients who reside in DC or they're in a long-term care facility, and they're eligible for that service. The rides are free. They do need to be scheduled at least 3 days in advance of the needed ride. So this can't be this isn't a same-day service. They cover non-emergency medical transportation. So we're talking like you're going to your doctor's appointment or something like that. And they provide service in all the counties that touch DC. So it's DC, Prince George's, Montgomery counties, Fairfax, Arlington, and the city of Alexandria. So they cover all of those areas. Seabury Resources. So Seabury, you may have heard of. They used to have transportation for older adults all over the place, but they recently have stopped that. But what you can do is if, like, say, Wild Tech wanted to do an outing for the group, they could rent their van or commission their van to take a group of older adults to a wellness center or a medical facility or some type of group excursion. So if you needed a van to do something like that, or you needed transportation to do that, Seabury Resources is the place to look for that because they provide that transportation for people over 60. Senior Med Express is another one. They do non-emergency medical transportation. So that's going to like your doctor's appointments or anything like that. And they also provide meal delivery. They work through DC Yellow Cab to do that. These are just some ones that they're not senior or disability specific, but they're just, they're options if you're in the area. So who's it, Ms. Doris, who was talking about T Street, 13th and T Street. So in that area, there's a little shuttle that goes around. It's called Art to Go-Go. It's a free shuttle that goes around Anacostia. It runs on a 25-minute loop and it's wheelchair accessible from what I hear. It does not run on Sunday. So it runs Monday through Friday and it runs Saturday for about 6 hours or so. So if you just wanted to go around Anacostia, you wanted to stop at the museum, you wanted to go to the New Go-Go Museum, you want to stop and get a bite to eat at Busboys and Poets, Art to Go-Go is one way to get around without feeling like, how am I going to do this? I don't want to walk it. I don't want to deal with the parking. This is a way to do that and get around Anacostia.
The bus, that's such, I want to ride that on that bus.
Yes.
I've been sharing the link, so I just shared the schedule for Art to
Oh,
Go Go
great.
in the chat.
Oh, great. Thank you. The other one is called the Circuit Shuttle, and similar to Art to Go-Go, it runs in the Southwest waterfront area. I heard the last time I did this presentation, it is not wheelchair accessible, although they say it is on their site. So I'm not, so if somebody's been on it, please let me know. But somebody told me it wasn't, that they didn't accommodate that. But it runs in the Southwest waterfront area. So again, if you want to go to the wharf, you're going to the Arena Stage or someplace like that, this is an option to take, especially if you've been down to the wharf lately and tried to park there. You know how expensive it is to park. The last time I was there, I think it was $45, and I was like, I will never, ever, ever, ever drive here again. This is insane. But if you want to go down there and get crabs, you can, that this is an option to do it instead of having to pay for parking. So it's ridecircuit.com.
On their website, it does say they have WAV vehicles, so they may have not gotten that option. Who knows?
Yeah. If you do still want to drive, but you don't want to own a car, I'm kind of in that category, even though I have access to a vehicle. Free to Move is an option. It's a car sharing service. You may have seen their little Jeeps around. They say Free to Move on the side. They're Jeep Renegades. They're free floating all over DC. You sign up for it on an app, you do your driver's license and all those kind of things there, and it's available 24/7. So one of the things that I love about Freedom Move is that, one, you don't have to own a car. You can usually get one in a neighborhood, which is really nice. And you can leave it in DC pretty much anywhere that it allows you to leave it. So it'll tell you like you're out of a zone. So if you pick it up here and you try to go to um, Montgomery County, you can't leave it there. You'll still be paying for it. But if you needed to do that or take it on a trip for a few days, you can do it. And what I think is really nice is that you don't have to go to the airport or someplace else and rent a car. The insurance is included. They have a way to reimburse you for gas. Like everything is kind of set up for you to make it really easy to just go, across the street or wherever the car might be, get the car, jump in it and go. So I really like it as an option if you don't want to own a car, but you still need a car to go someplace. Like, you need to go to Costco and you're like, I don't want to have to bother, my kids or my grandkids or my neighbor, or whatever, but I have this car, I could just go get it and come back and then drop it off wherever. Similar to that is Zipcar. And the difference in Zipcar is that Zipcar provides a variety of cars and vans. With Free to Move, you're going to get that Jeep Renegade, and that's your choice. Zipcar can have anything from small cars like a Honda Fit to a Honda Civic. It may have a van involved, so it has a variety of things. The rentals are round trip. They do often go through multiple cities, and you don't have an issue. But the difference is you have to take it back to where you got it. Whereas with Free to Move, I could pick it up if I see one across the street from my condo, I could pick one up there. And then if I decide when I get back that I don't want to leave it there, or I get to my destination someplace else in DC and I'm like, oh, I don't need to drive back. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna ride back with somebody else. I could just leave it in that spot in DC. And Zipcar, if I pick it up on Good Hope Road, 13th and Good Hope Road, or 14th and Good Hope Road, I have to take it back to 14th and Good Hope Road. Like I can't just leave it somewhere. So it's nice, but also it includes all the insurance and all those things that when you go to a rental car place, they want to charge you extra for it. It's all built into the price there. And that's it. So I hope this was helpful. I really want to give people lots of options to get around and commute in DC without feeling like I have to have a car. I've got to pay all this money to park it or register it or whatever. And there's other ways to get around. I really want to share that and let people know about it so that they can feel like, hey, I can still get around DC and age in place and enjoy it, whether I have a car or not.
Thank you so much, Renee. And please leave these slides up because our seniors may have a question or two on that. But if you all have any questions or comments for Renee, please raise your hands and we love to hear from you guys. Any questions, any comments, what'd you learn, anything that you'd like to share, please raise your hand in Zoom. But while we get our hands raised, Renee, would you mind going over Zero's DC website very quickly for us?
But I think, hold on,
But
let me go to Vision
yeah,
Zero's
yeah.
website.
Any questions, please raise your hand in Zoom. Please put it in the chat. I think I have 2 or so questions in the chat for you, Renee. So yes, I see we have 2 hands already. Okay.
So this is Vision Zero's website, visionzero.dc.gov. We talk about how everyone deserves safe streets. So there's an overview where we talk about what Vision Zero is. We go through talking about there's some Vision Zero stories. We're one of the things in my job is looking at how do we update this because we have the 2022 update and we're working on another update, but we need to get it on here. We talk about the high injury network. These are the roadways that have the highest amounts of injuries on them. And so these are where this is the priority that we look at first when we're talking about which streets maybe need to be looked at or redesigned or restructured in some way. We use this map as a way to determine where we should be looking. And then we look at engineering for safety. So these are the people who are going out and like doing the actual work and the installation of any of the changes that we're going to make. We have so we have the crash analysis. This gets updated I won't say daily, but it gets updated as things happen. So if we have a crash or we have someone who is who's been in a crash and had a serious accident, or we've had unfortunately a fatality, it goes into the crash dashboard here. And this is also being updated by our data analyst. So we should have a new one out before the end of the summer. But you can see it by all modes, how people are traveling. You can do it by just bicyclists and see what's going on, people that are injured, the traffic fatalities. You can see it by driver, by passenger, by pedestrian, by scooters, motorcyclists. So you can see where all the crashes are happening and the severity of them, if it's fatal, major or minor. So major crashes are like losing you may have lost a limb, you've hurt eyesight. It could be something like that. A minor one might be that you broke a tooth in it. That used to be major, but they put that in a minor category. Or maybe you were injured, but you walked away. Like you were like, I bruised my arm. So but I walked away from it. You can also look at it by ward. So you can look at all the wards. Oops, sorry. What just happened? You could look at all the wards or you can look at it by ward. So if you lived in Ward 8, for instance, sorry, I'm having an issue with my computer. Okay. If you lived in Ward 8, you could look at just Ward 8 and say, oh, okay, I see what's happening in Ward 8. I picked that because I live in Ward 8. So you can see like what's going on. And then you can also see it by A and C. That's one of the other things we're looking at. So if you know you live in ANC 8A02 or ANC 8, something like that, you can see like where are the crashes happening in your particular ANC. So there's a little bit of education here. So we're talking about how we promote safe travel. We have different campaigns that we've done. We have the yard signs. We talk about driving safety tips, and then how can you get involved is also on there. So that's our website. We encourage you to explore it, give feedback. What would you like to see on it? Because that's something we're working on too. And then
Once
I see
again,
two
thank
hands.
you so much for the overview, Renee. I
You're
love how
welcome.
colorful and engaging the website is, but also the information. It's but the driver versus the bike fatality, like that difference. Wow, it just when you see it in that form, the cars are, the main drivers of why, why you guys do what you do. So
And we want people to be safe. Like we're not, I mean, I bike and I tell people that like I'm a bicyclist, mostly, but I also drive and I also walk and I take metro. Like I do all of those things. And so I see how it's different every time I'm in a different mode. So we're not like, don't ever drive. We just want people to slow down and look out for other people and make sure that they're okay. But also drivers are the ones who are also most often in a fatality. It's when we look at this, and so we definitely want people to slow down, not just because of other people, but also just for themselves and the passengers that they're carrying with them.
yes, yes, yes. Me, yeah. I've taken advantage of all different kinds of transportation here in DC, so I definitely hear you, Renee, and thank you so much for your wonderful work.
I see two hands.
Yeah, we got some hands. I love it.
Awesome.
And we got some in the chat too. So we'll do one hand and then I'll go through the chat because this second hand is related to the chat. So I got you all. Love your questions. We got Anne. Any questions or comments before our next person? Thank you so
I
much.
have a couple of comments. The first one I wanted to tell you, welcome to the Great Grandma Club.
You.
You'll like it better than the Grandma Club.
Oh, I like the grandma club. The
Well,
grandma.
you'll be just as thrilled or more so with the Great Grandma Club.
Oh, I'm not a great grandma yet. I'm just a
Well, you're
grandma. So
going to
I'm
be
number
one.
two.
Do
I'm
you
gonna be
have your
one.
great granddaughter's pregnant?
No, my daughter's pregnant with her second baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm
yes,
sorry. Well,
yeah.
welcome
No,
to the
no,
Great
you're fine.
Club.
Yeah,
But
but I
I
like the
wanted to
grandma
know
club.
how you can give us some information on how to um, get these people to stop leaving these bikes in front of your house, in front of your stepway where somebody has to move the bike to get up your steps. And I also are there traffic laws that they give bikers, or they just out there doing what the hell they want to do?
Okay, I can answer both of those. So the first one, because that drives me nuts too. I live in a condo. People leave that line bike right there. It drives me crazy because I think the first thing I think of is somebody in a wheelchair cannot get past this. That's my first thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go back again. I've had a lot of because I sometimes I go around the neighborhood. I take my phone and I just take a picture of it and I do it on 311. I'm like, there's a bike sitting right here. It needs to go. And usually within 24 hours, somebody comes out and moves it. So I've had a lot of success with that because, like Alexander mentioned, when you could take the picture, show the street, this bike is an obstruction. Often, I think my understanding of what they do is they when we put it in 311 with the picture is that the company like especially Lime and Vio, they're notified of this that somebody one of their users has done this and it becomes an issue that needs to be fixed. And so sometimes that may be where they call it geofencing. So they'll say like you can't leave this here. So even if somebody tries to, it won't stop charging them. So the person can't leave it there. So sometimes they do things like that. But I found a lot of success with 311. Just put on
Okay.
311 and take a picture. The second question, yes. So I put like, yes, there are people training people on how to be safe on bikes. It's the Washington Area Bicycles Association. The issue is that sometimes a lot of people already know how to ride a bike and they don't go and update the skill, but there is someone who does it.
Yeah, because they put up these bike trails, which are taking away lanes, and it's Florida Avenue has become a hellhole. It's really disturbing. But I did a senior crazy thing. I had the lawn guy to take the three bikes that were in front of my house, and somebody had a nerve to leave it in front of my stairwell,
Oh,
and
no.
he put them in the middle of the street. So Metro reported it
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
Metro bus runs the used to be the 33rd and Blaine. I forgot what it's called now, but it goes to the Metro station on Benning Road. So
Okay.
I got tired of being crazy, but sometimes you have to be a little bit crazy some days. Uh,
Some days you do. But yeah,
you
I
know,
311 it. That's what I do.
well,
I take a picture of it.
I 311 them three times in one day, and nobody
Mhm.
was listening to me. And he was trying to cut the grass. I said, just put it in the trash. I mean, put it in front of the bus. And the bus driver, he's gonna get pissed, and he did. He called the police, and they came
And had a woman.
and they
They
moved him.
moved it.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and one of my neighbors squealed on me, and he came up and knocked on my door, and he said, "Miss Dennis, why are you calling us? Why are you causing this disruption today?" I said, "Because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm crippled. I never know if the ambulance. I have sick people that are near me that depend on me to call the police or to the ambulance when somebody's not with them. They seem to think that I have good sense. I'm trying to live up to that, but anyhow, uh, you get tired of stuff, and we're senior citizens. We don't have, I can't go out there and move that bike.
Yeah.
Well,
No, the bikes are
you
heavy.
did
The
what you
bikes
had
are
to
heavy.
do, and you called, and you just you did what you had to do. So you just
Yeah.
make sure you stay level-headed, which you did. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us today.
And thank you,
Thank you.
Renee, and God
You're
bless you for
welcome.
the new
Hmm.
baby.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Much. All right, looking through the chat, I do. We had a very patient hand. I appreciate it. Looking through, so someone asked about Seabury. So how did the transportation work? From my understanding, it's transportation from the center to somewhere and back, or is it more general transportation from Seabury?
From Seabury. So Seabury now, what they do is you can, if you're a group, like I was mentioning, like this, like if Wild Tech, like if Alexander said, "Hey, we're going to do an outing for our seniors, and we're going to take them to this event that's happening at Arena Stage, and you need a bigger van." Seabury will provide the van. I don't know if they provide the driver, but probably, but they'll provide the transportation to get a group of people there. So it's not, they used to have one where it was individual, they pick people up and take them places. They don't offer that anymore. So it's strictly just somebody needs a van, they need service for a group of people to take them somewhere.
Thank you for clarifying that. But as
Yeah.
always, make sure you all go to the source. You may never know when things change, and
Yeah. Yeah.
the next day, honestly. So, call and see what that happened. What has happened with that.
Yeah.
And for Seabury, but all in general, this I haven't gotten this kind of question in a while. Miss Renee, are you available to attend a health fair in August to share your information? If the answer to that is yes, Renee, I can definitely get you two in contact with each other.
Yes, yeah, yes. If the you let me know the date, I'm happy to do that. This is where I love to work. Somebody mentioned in the beginning about council member Anita Bonds and that she works with the seniors. And this is actually how I got into it. I was sitting in on um one of the oversight hearing meetings, and she mentioned it. She's like, what she said was, she said something about the bicycles. So she was like, "Well, what are y'all doing for our seniors?" And I thought, "Oh, we could do something for seniors." And so that's actually how I got involved in doing this work. Specifically working like this is because I wanted to do more for the older adult population. And when I heard her say that, I was like, we're not talking to seniors about Vision Zero and all the options that are out there. We need to be doing that. So, yeah, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know the dates. I have some things set up in August already, but it's not booked. So if it works out, I'm happy to come out. Absolutely.
Oh yes, for the person that's sharing. Yes, thank you so much for sharing that info in the chat. Make sure you send that direct message though. So I just Renee, I just sent you a direct message with
Yeah.
that person's information. So thank you so much for sharing. So make sure you use that direct message feature, okay? Um
Let me stop
but
sharing my screen so I can see it.
oh no, you won't no, they won't be able to see it.
Oh
That's
no, I can't see it. I can't see the chat. I need to stop sharing my screen so I can see the
Oh,
chat.
when you share, there should be a black bar that has all the different options, but
Got
that's
it.
fine as well. Um,
Okay.
hi, Miss Pamela. Did you have another comment besides that? But I'm glad I got that squared away for you. Thank you for joining us today. You had another just a comment or a
Yeah,
question?
I just wanted to know whether Seabury service, what areas do they service all wards? Because they do service Ward 6. They're actually the what do you call it for
They're the
Ward
lead
6?
agency. They're the lead agency for
Yeah, I'm
Ward.
sorry, the lead agency for Ward 6. And I work at a help desk for seniors at 900 G Street, and they do take advantage of Seabury Transportation. My question was, do they provide transportation for all of the wards outside of Ward 6?
No,
Okay.
they don't. The
It's
last I
okay.
heard it, that was, yeah, it was just Ward 6. And that's good to know that they're doing that because the person I spoke to a few months ago told me they had stopped it after COVID. They didn't, there was a grant or something, there was something they didn't get, and so they had to stop the service they were doing. So they were only doing the group vans.
Yeah, they go to Martha's Table. They take them to quite a few places to get food.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the health fair is at the senior living facility, and it's 900 G Street, and it's in Northeast. It's
Oh, okay.
right there on the eighth, the H Street corridor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Capitol Hill
Yep.
Towers.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I think you two can definitely work out details amongst email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I just put my email in there so
Yeah.
Okay,
I can coordinate that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
What
thank
else is there?
you.
Oops, I
All
can't.
right. Well, again, thank you all for again, make sure you lower your hands and mute yourselves, all that wonderful stuff which you all have been doing. Thank you. Um, let's see, just looking through the chat. I don't see any other direct messages. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, this is great. Renee, you're very popular.
I
Uh
love doing this. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited about doing this presentation.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. No, I just got another direct message that I'm responding to.
Okay.
Uh, did you check your chats? Any other direct messages for you, Renee?
Not see any more direct
See any more?
ones.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
I
I
just
copied Miss Pamela's info, so I am going to, and I
yes.
think I answered all of the questions. Yeah.
Ms. Nicole was also interested. So oh okay. Yeah, oh okay, same organization. So okay. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. We got two hands because we're almost at the top of the hour. So these two hands and then um is there oh yes, before we have the hand, someone um Miss Renee, can you please put that number for the AARP class in the chat?
Yeah. Yep, yep,
Telephone number
yep.
for the AARP class.
So the number they have on the website is actually my phone number. I looked at it, I was like, why are people calling me? I said, oh, my number's there. Oh,
Um, someone in the chat. Okay, when you say this, is this a new office with the mayor? Okay. Vision Zero is under DDOT. Is that correct, Renee?
sort of. So it's it's a complicated process, but sort of. We're actually in what's called the executive office of the mayor and the city administrator's office now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of different agencies that we work with that are under us, like DMV, Department of Employment Services. There's like Department of Energy. There's like a bunch of different people that work under us. in the city
Right.
administrator's office, sorry. I mean,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So this is my info, and let me find the link to the AARP, because you can sign up online, which is the easiest thing to do. You can also pay when you show up. I've seen people do that, like they show up and register there, but this is the easiest way to do it. It's right here. And that's my specific class. If you go to aarp.org and you look up Smart Driver, you will see a list of all the ones. You want to make sure that you take the one in where you actually have your license. Like Maryland's is, you could take the one in Maryland, and when you take it, I'm trying to think if it's shorter or longer. I think Maryland is 4 hours, DC 6, Virginia's 8. It's something like that. But anyway, however you take it, you want to make sure that you're taking it in the city that you have your license, because you'll get state specific information in that state. That if you take it in Maryland and you live in DC, just don't, when you go to your insurance company, just don't say that, oh, I took it in Maryland, because they may say, well, you didn't take it enough hours, just give them the certificate and just let them work it out.
All right. Again, I'm just double checking some things on my end right here. Thank you. All right, just looking through that. Um, Thank you so much, Renee, for coming on our session today, and for all of you seniors for asking such wonderful questions and comments and your testimonies. And some of you have done our class or are going to do the class. So DC is such a small world. So I love when you get those coincidences that occur. But Renee, any final thoughts or thoughts on our session today, on our seniors? Any last final words that you want to leave our seniors off on today?
Oh, I just want to say thank you so much for having me in this. I sat in on one before. I'm trying to get my mom to join while tech and get techie. But I love this program. Thank you so much for having me. And Miss Lisa, I did see your your chat to me about the Lyft discount. So I'll look that up and I'll call or text you with that information. But I just want to thank everybody for doing this. And I hope that you take advantage of these programs and get around DC in a variety of different ways. And I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Renee. Well, let's all
Yeah,
say thank
thank
you
you.
so much to Renee for her session today. And make sure you stay on for our poll so that way you can let us know how you felt about the session today. Thank you, Renee. Hope to see
Thank you,
you again.
Renee.
Thank
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 you,
you, Miss
Renee.
you.
See you
Thank
Good
Renee.
you.
again.
night.
Thank you,
Thank
Renee.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Renee. Good
Much.
you.
session.
See
Thank
you
you so
again,
much.
Renee.
All right, bye.
Have
Bye.
a good day.
Have a good
Oh,
day.
Stay cool and hydrated.
You.
I